The Festival of Hathor. Beneath the vast golden sky of Kemet, where the Nile wound its way through the land like a serpent of life, the world flourished in the embrace of the gods. Towering palm trees swayed in the breeze, their fronds whispering secrets of the past, while fields of barley and wheat stretched endlessly, kissed by the sun's golden touch. Grand temples of limestone stood in silent reverence, their carvings telling stories as old as time, and statues of deities gazed upon the people with eternal watchfulness. The great river, the heart of the land, carried its blessings from the distant south, feeding the soil, the cities, and the souls of those who called Kemet home. Yet, despite the richness of the land and the certainty of the sun's return each morning, a quiet sorrow had begun to take root. The laughter that once echoed through the bustling markets of Waset and Yunu grew faint, and the songs that had filled the air with life, from the courtyards of Memphis to the shores of the Delta, had lost their spirit. The people still worked, still toiled under Ra's watchful eye, shaping limestone blocks for temples and tending the sacred fields nourished by the annual flooding of the Nile, yet the lightness in their hearts seemed to wane. The gods had not turned their faces away, but something was missing, something unseen yet deeply felt. And in the heavens above, Hathor, the Lady of Joy, watched and listened, her heart stirring with a desire to bring back the laughter that once danced through the land. Determined to return laughter to the land, Hathor descended from the sky in her most radiant form, golden like the morning sun, her eyes shimmering like the sacred waters of the Nile. She moved among the people unseen, listening to their stories in the grand halls of Karnak, watching the way they worked along the fertile riverbanks of Asyut and the trading ports of Per Rameses, and understanding the weight that had settled upon them. As she walked, she felt the whisper of the wind and the gentle rustling of palm trees lining the processional way to Dendera, her own sacred temple. Inspiration struck, and she smiled. If sorrow had made its home in their hearts, then joy must be invited back with open arms. That night, she visited the great temples and spoke to the priests in their dreams.
Prepare a grand festival,
She told them,
a celebration of life, of love, of laughter. Let the people gather under the moon and stars with music, dance, and offerings of gratitude.
At dawn, the priests awoke, their hearts filled with a divine calling. They spread the word across the land. A festival was coming, one of joy and renewal in honor of Hathor herself. From the great temples of Thebes to the quiet villages along the riverbanks near Elephantine, the people prepared. They wove garlands of lotus and papyrus, set out golden cups brimming with sweet wine pressed from the vineyards of the Fayum, and gathered the finest fruits and honeyed cakes made from the rich honey of the Delta. Musicians tuned their lyres and flutes, and dancers practiced beneath the shade of date palms, their anklets jingling like sacred bells. When the night of the festival arrived, the city was alight with lanterns, their glow reflecting on the river's surface like 1,000 stars. The people came dressed in their finest linen, spun from the fields along the Nile, their arms adorned with bright lapis lazuli and turquoise, their faces painted with kohl. The air was filled with the sound of tambourines and laughter as families and friends gathered in open courtyards and temple gardens. Then, as the music reached its height, Hathor herself appeared, stepping into the heart of the revelry. She was not as a distant goddess seated upon a throne of gold, but as one of them, a woman whose laughter rang like chimes in the breeze, whose dance flowed like the sacred river. She twirled and swayed, her golden bracelets jingling, her eyes alive with warmth. The people, overcome with her presence, joined her in dance, their worries melting away like morning mist beneath the rising sun. Throughout the night, joy flowed as freely as the wine poured in her honor. The young and old alike sang songs of love and friendship, and long-lost laughter returned to the hearts of the people. It was a night unlike any other, a night where the burdens of life were lifted, where sorrow had no place, and where the beauty of the world was once again seen with clear eyes. As the dawn approached, Hathor stood upon the temple steps and gazed upon the revelers with a heart full of love. She had given them a gift, not of wealth nor of power, but the simple, sacred gift of joy. From that day forth, the festival of Hathor became a cherished tradition. Every year, the people gathered beneath the moonlit sky, singing and dancing in her honor. And though the goddess no longer walked among them in form, her spirit remained in every note of music, every burst of laughter, and every embrace between loved ones. Thus, the land of Kemet flourished once more, not just in the wealth of its fields and rivers, but in the richness of its people's hearts. And so long as they remembered to dance, to sing, and to love, Hathor's light would never fade from the world.